Hello. Thank you for taking the time to open your door for me today. I'm a traveling salesman, and I am looking to sell a very powerful gift, the gift of knowledge. Well, you know that I'm a real salesman because I have a briefcase. Could I take a few minutes of your time and introduce you to the world that you've never knew you could have? Fantastic. Thank you. Well, thank you. We're set up right here, you said. Oh. Certainly. Right here. Thank you. First off, thank you for allowing me into your home today. I wasn't kidding when I said that I have some very exciting news for you. My name is Lou. You can call me Lou. Today, I have, for show and tell, the greatest ideas, the vast history, the incredible complexity of knowledge and wisdom long thought to be subject to a 60-year-old life of mistakes and learning. Well, not anymore. Not with the invention of encyclopedias. Encyclopedias are your one-stop shop for knowledge, information. Impress your friends at parties. Challenge yourself to learn more. Be the smartest and the brightest one in the room. There has never been, and there will never be, an opportunity to have all the answers to your questions. Are you interested in learning more, or you just want me to leave? Fantastic. You know, I've never been told to leave after that opener, but there's a first for everything. Well, I am here representing Grolier and their new book of knowledge. Let me ask you something. Are you familiar with World War II? Of course, right? It just happened 20 years ago. Well, little known fact that over the last 20 years, the Japanese people have been lied to about World War II. See, over there, their emperor is a god to them. And you can't say anything negative about the emperor. So, all the atrocities that the Japanese committed, all the bad things that they did, they had no idea because the schools weren't teaching it. For a long time, they thought that they were just minding their own business. When all of a sudden, old Johnny USA came over and dropped a bomb on them. What's my point? My point is that knowledge is power. And nobody can control a community and a population that has knowledge and that has wisdom. And with these books, you'll never have to worry about that. You got kids? You want those kids to be the best in their class? This is what you need. This is your ticket to freedom, no matter what it is. This is the new book of knowledge. Now, the title's a little misleading. There were other editions, but there was no old book of knowledge. This is it. But it has a really cool logo on the front where you have gold and silver. They can dance in the light, as you see. A real nice hardcover, which, as you can see here, will keep your knowledge fresh forever. Now, every one of these books is part of a set, a series, A through Z, alphabetical. This is book 2 that I have to show you today, but you can buy these individually, but we of course always recommend getting the series. So without further ado, let me show you what it looks like to have a world of possibilities open to you all at once. B. B. The second letter of the English alphabet was also the second letter of the Phoenician, Hebrew, and Greek alphabets. The Phoenicians and the Hebrews called it Bet, and the Greeks called it Beta. Already learning. In chemistry, B stands for the element boron, and the English B stands for many things. The B is most frequently pronounced as in baseball and bishop, although in some English words, such as comb or debt, the letter is silent. Now, as we go through, we see some of the best utilizations of B, some of the greatest people to to have ever walked the earth. One great example, Johann Sebastian Bach, the perhaps greatest composer to have ever lived, actually was a equivalent to a choir director and wrote some incredible stuff. Here you see the game of backgammon and how to play it. Badminton. Bacteria. The Bahamas. Ever heard of that place? Oh, I hear it's great to vacation. Bahrain, the country. Never heard of it? No. Ballet, ballerina. Are you feeling more cultured yet? Balloons and ballooning. Bangladesh. Just to be fun, let me just pick a random page and see what we land on. Halfway through. Giovanni Lorenzo Bernini. The sculptor, painter, and architect Giovanni Lorenzo Bernini was Italy's leading artist during the 1600s. His works include many of Rome's buildings, statues, and fountains, greatly influencing the development of Italian art in the Baroque period. You get to see a little bit of the Bernoulli family, a prominent mathematicians and scientists family, born in Holland and settling in Switzerland. Let's pick another random one, shall we? Oh, I know what that is. That is the Earth. The different biomes within the world. Let's do another one, shall we? Bird eggs. There you see the blue grouse, the mountain plover, the American crow, the European starling, the golden-fronted woodpecker. And you see this guy right here, can't even get on there, the ostrich egg, the American robin, the northern cardinal, bobolink, and the black-chinned hummingbird. Oh, what a beautiful bird that is there. Birds, wonderful things. Let's go a little bit further now. Here's a bird hatching out of an egg. Wow, the history of birds. Next with the blues and Judy Blume. As you can see, he will be, if nothing else, very well-rounded when you have this. Now we're looking at the nervous system, DNA, glycogen, lipids, proteins, book reports. Don't you miss those? Of course, two infamous figures Daniel Boone and John Wilkes Booth. One of them revered for being a frontiersman and an American hero. The other one for killing an American hero. Interesting enough about John Wilkes Booth, he was the equivalent to, I know it's dated, but Charlie Chaplin. You know, he was the guy, and it was just so shocking when he did what he did, in many ways. An entire history of boxing. Who do we have here? Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, George Foreman, Jack Dempsey, Sugar Ray Robinson. Every one of these annotated with beautiful imagery, just waiting for you to read it. Based on the fact that there's a little bit of everything in here. You'll never get tired of reading these things. You know what? Let's put B down, because that's just one of all the wonderful books that we have. Now, I didn't bring all of them. In fact, I didn't even plan which ones that I did bring. The reason being that these things make me so excited, like a kid in a candy store, to open these things and to see these pictures that I went ahead and I just picked random ones that I knew that I hadn't looked at that much before, so I could share with you the excitement, everything that I see. This particular one is the H. And the first thing we have, what else but hair? Hair styling, hair care, hair and scalp disorders, baldness, dandruff, Alexander Hamilton, one of America's first great statesmen. Handwriting, Warren Harding, the 29th President of the United States. Benjamin Harrison, the 23rd President of the United States. And the harp there for good measure. Hats, my favorite. The history of hats. Milliners make women's hats. I didn't know that. I know that people who make hats, I thought they were all called hatters. Now I know. You get to see the 6 basic hat forms: the wide brim, the medium brim, small brim, and you have your hats without brims, your high crown, low crown, and your fitted crown. Very interesting. Why do people wear hats? Hats are worn for protection. They were worn to show status. Hats are worn for religious reasons. They're worn for decoration. Tell you what, I wear my hat because my crazy hair gets everywhere. Hawaii. The 50th state. Only became a state a few years ago in '59. Never been, but I hear that there's lots of big waves and lots of hot lava. More about the Hawaiian people. Oh, and look at that. A little brief introduction to the Hawaiian language. Sample word is ala, la, and the meaning is a road. Aloha, love, welcome, farewell. Kai, see, hula, dance. Mahalo, thank you. Poi, a food made from the taro plant. Wahina, female. Well, now I know a little bit more than I did before, right? Stephen William Hawking. I heard about that guy. I heard that he's sick. Diseases. Heat. As if we didn't know what that was, right? The kings of France, Henrys. All of them Henrys. Thor Heyerdahl. Thor Heyerdahl was an explorer, archaeologist, and writer who believed that sea travel played a large part in the spread of early civilizations. He was born in Norway and studied at the University of Oslo. The hippopotamus. Right next to Hinduism. Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam. Boy, we're really doing a number in that place right now, aren't we? Homonyms. Homonyms. Have you ever heard a person talking about a large steak and wondered what he meant by a steak dinner? Have you ever written some when you really meant some? Homonyms. Two words that sound the same but mean very different things. Didn't even know that was a thing. Hong Kong. Horses, zebras, mustangs. Well, I'm not gonna read it all. This take away the fun that you're gonna have later on. The last one that I grabbed was kind of an odd one. See, there's not that many things that start with W, X, Y, or Z. So for our 20th book, which is the final book, it combines all of them. And I just thought it would be interesting to test you on how many words you can think of that start with a Y, start with a Z, start with a W. Let's see, shall we? Well, there's our first one. Walruses. Walruses look like no other animal. Atop a huge, shapeless body covered with folds and wrinkles of skin is a tiny head with small eyes, drooping tusks, and a stubby beard. Kind of sounds like me in high school before I got braces. Andy Warhol. Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington. Water. Filters, chemical treatments, pumping stations. Precipitation. We're still on water. I will say it is very important. Weaving. In ancient times, there lived a beautiful maiden named Arachne. A story in Greek mythology says that Arachne was an excellent weaver. She challenged the goddess Athena to a weaving contest. When Athena saw that Arachne's weaving was more beautiful than her own, she changed Arachne into a spider, and that is why spiders weave beautiful webs. Weaving is a method arachnids. All makes sense, huh? Although weaving is an ancient craft, the principles of weaving have not changed through the ages. Modern textile mills produce cloth for everyday use much more rapidly than ancient peoples did by hand, but many people still do hand weaving the old way as a hobby or a form of expression. So that's where arachnids came from? Wow. Every time that I open this, it just boggles my mind. Religions, weights and measurements. Public welfare, welding. Now we're on to West Virginia. Still on West Virginia, all the famous people that have come from there. Henry Louis Gates Jr., Robert Carlyle Bird, Anna Jarvis, Mary Lou Retton, Charles Elwood. Interesting. Whales. You can see there, gray whale, fin whale, pilot whale, right whale, the humpback whale, sperm whale, bottlenose whale, beluga, narwhal, killer whale. Whaling. James Abbott McNeill Whistler, a painter. Tennessee Williams, one of the outstanding American playwrights. Funny enough, born in Columbus, Mississippi. Wisconsin. A lot about Wisconsin. Let's move on to woodwind instruments, wood engraving, wood carving, work, power. Who would have thought there was so much that started with the letter W? Wow, look at that beautiful artistry. Gorgeous. World War II, just as we were discussing. Writing, Wilbur and Orville Wright, the Wright brothers, made the first plane. Wyoming. Now we're on to the Ys. Yugoslavia. Oh, and here we have our contributors and our blue pages of our thesaurus, so I can't let that go until I find at least one thing that starts with Z. Zambia. Isn't there's an X here too that we could went right past it. Zinc, Zurich, Zoroastrianism. Worms. Which means that I don't think there was anything in the X. Let's see. Alright, oh, there we go. X-rays. I don't know if that should count. X is literally only like 2 or 3 pages. What a wonderful exploration. Now, like I said, we do sell these individually, but the set comes in 20, and individually they're about 20 books, $20 a book, but for a set of 20 of them, they're $200. So if you buy the set of them, you get each book for $10. So you're welcome. Absolutely. It's been a privilege to sit here and talk to you about this. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll leave my business card with you. Don't need to make any decisions right now. I go around to the neighborhood, knock on a few more doors. I'll come back, see what you think, or better yet, you just call me. I'll be at home later on. You can phone me there. I can come back tomorrow, the next day, place your order, however you want to do it. Thank you for allowing me in your house. I will start to put it away and get out of your hair. Pleasure was all mine. Have a good day now.